Are we on?
Yep. Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
How are you? We're just going to wait just a little bit here just to make sure that everyone is notified that this has gone live. We actually had, golly, it was upwards of, I think, 40 people who were interested or going. So we're super excited. This is only our second Facebook Live virtual painting class. So that's just super cool that we can do this. So I'm Jamie.
I'm Johnny.
And Johnny is a professional painter extraordinaire. And I just like to paint. I'm just, I'm an artistic person.
Oh, don't let her lie.
We actually have a lot of art projects around the house. Basically, probably 90% of our decor in our house is different paintings and art projects and stuff like that. Like if you look up over the fireplace, that is a painting that Johnny did. And we love it. So we're just, we're just two kind of artsy folks, and we just thought it would be a good idea with the coronavirus and everything to just kind of get on here and do a Facebook Live and sort of give people,
something to do.
Something to do, right?
Yep, that's right.
And we have the time, so we just figured why not give it a go.
Yep. So I hope you all enjoy what we're doing today. We have a sample.
Yep. I'm gonna just hang on, guys.
Hung up here. It's our reference picture.
There we go. Technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. All right. So there is the picture, the project that we're going to be creating today. So, that's cotton balls and just kind of a neat...
old milk jug and cotton balls with a wood background. So kind of get into some different textures and different color mixing techniques. And we should be able to complete this within the hour time frame that we've got going on today. But yeah, it's a pretty nice little painting. Hopefully, if everything goes well, it'll be something you can add to your decor in your home.
Yes. Yeah, so that we think this is such a pretty project that, this is something that everybody would want to have in their decor. So, Johnny, do you want to talk about the supplies you got here?
Yeah, we've just got a basic set of craft brushes. These craft brushes are, I think, from Walmart. It's just a basic value set, nothing fancy. Of course, I got my jumbo brush out to, get ahead of y'all in the painting so I can put some paint on.
Yeah, the bigger the brush, the faster you can cover the canvas.
But anyway.
Oh, Patricia is watching.
Oh, hi, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia.
Glad you could make it. So.
Oh, also, guys, please do, we can, just so we know that you're on, just kind of send us some hearts and likes or comments. You can make comments throughout the program. We know this is kind of a one-way recording, but you can throw some questions up, and I'm basically the camera person, and I will be, like, if I notice you making any comments, we'll talk about it and answer any questions that you have.
Right.
And so to feel free to make any comments. And in the future, if we may do an interactive Zoom type of a painting class going forward. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we're just testing the water to see how the response is with this, and might grow it from there.
Yep. So. All right. So the rest of your supplies there.
We just got some basic craft brush set. I know they sell some nice palettes at Hobby Lobby and some of the art supply stores, but for today's purposes, we're just using paper plates. For me, it works good because when you're done, you can just throw it in the trash.
Yep.
A blow dryer. You're going to need a blow dryer for this one.
Yes, so we will need a blow dryer, and that'll help speed up the drying process.
A thing of water. I usually use pickle jars or whatever jars to kind of recycle things. They make great for rinsing your brush out. Paper towels, and of course, your paint. We're just dealing with primary colors: red, yellow, blue, black, and white today. Really limited palette. However, you know, their colors are available in these craft paints in just about any color you want to get. But I like to just kind of stay with the primary colors because I like to mix my own colors. And we're going to touch on that a little bit today as well.
Yeah, it's actually really kind of neat how much you can actually do with a limited amount of paint. You know, just a few colors. You only need those primary colors, guys.
So we're going to get into this. To start with, make sure you've got a canvas. It doesn't really matter which size, you know, because we're not going to grade you on what size canvas you want to do. If you want to do a 50-foot one or a 2-foot one or 6 inches, it's all good to me. But to start out with, I'm gonna cover the whole entire background with the black. So I'm gonna lay out a good amount of black on my palette, and we're just going to start brushing side to side. Try to keep this side to side, your brush strokes, because if you look at the reference picture, the background is going to be boards, and we kind of want those brush strokes to be side to side because we're going to do a little bit of wood graining.
So you might be wondering, why are we starting with black?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I would have been thinking, I would have had everybody buy a black primed canvas, and it would have saved time. But
well, no, this is perfect because this kind of shows. So you're making, this is your base coat.
yeah, this will be the base coat, and like I said, you know, that's, as you can see, why I want the big brush, because it covers a lot of area at one time. I'm gonna try to get these edges first.
Yep. So, guys, for this, the bigger the brush, the better, just to get that paint on there as quickly as possible. Doesn't have to be a special kind of brush, really.
I try to get all the canvas covered because we really don't want any white showing through. But just try to get it all covered. I'm gonna need some more black. I really try to push it into the canvas, get it worked in really well. These pre-primed canvases, they really tend to suck the paint up.
And we have kind of a flat canvas that we're using right now, as you guys can see that.
Yeah,
but if you have a wrapped, like a thicker, what'd you say, like a 1/2 inch thick, one of those wrapped canvases.
Yeah.
I would recommend making sure your paint covers those sides too. Because you kind of want to make the picture look three-dimensional. So whatever you do on the front of the canvas, you want to make sure you wrap that around.
Yeah, because I mean, they do sell the gallery wrap canvases that you paint the edges. That saves you from having to buy a frame. This particular type canvas, you will have to have a frame if you're gonna mount it on the wall. And I just go back and forth. You don't really want a lot of clumps in here, so try to smooth it out the best you can. But however, the brush strokes are going to be fine because you kind of want those to show through, because it's going to aid in how we get the wood grain effect to lay down on here. And I've just about got that done. I'm going to just go ahead and smooth everything out. And if you get some streaking going through there, I mean, that's going to be fine, because that's going to aid with the type of wood grain that we're going to try to get to go on there.
Yep. So, you know, we're going to try to emulate that wood grain thing we got going on there in the picture.
All right. And once you get your black on, then you're going to hit it with the blow dryer.
So it's going to be loud for just a second, guys.
If I got it plugged in here, we're having difficulties here.
There we go. So, are any of our viewers, are you at the blow drying stage, the hair blow drying stage? You can let us know if you're sort of caught up with the project or if you need a little bit of time. That windmill you see there is a faux finish project that Johnny made also. So it's the windmill itself. You bought it at what, Tractor Supply?
Tractor Supply.
But it was just that bare like
Bare
metal.
Comes with a galvanized finish.
So you know he added some really neat faux finish wood grain looking paint on there. It's one of our favorite things in the house.
So while that's drying a little bit, I'm going to go through and maybe we can go through and show our viewers how we're going to mix up this brown for the background.
Okay. Yep. We're gonna.
It's good. I'm going to probably go with not quite as a gray of a brown, more of a brown. But at any rate, we'll get into this. We're probably going to need a good bit. So when you do this, your lighter color generally is going to be your body of the color. I don't know how to explain it. So for brown, you're going to need a good amount of yellow. So I mean, put a good amount of yellow in there because that's going to be what you're going to mix into. And then the other two colors for the brown we're going to make is black. And black's real strong, so you're not going to need a whole lot of that. And then you're going to need a little bit of red. And probably, I'm going to guess, if we can add more later, but about the same amount of red that you have.
For the black?
As the black, I should say. So when you're mixing these colors, you'll notice as I start pulling colors in, I always try to pull the dark into the lightest color. So, and as I do this, it'll turn green, and you'll probably think, "What the heck? Are you colorblind? That is not brown." Because it's gonna turn like a green, as you can see, and there it goes. So it's turning green, and so the black, you can always make it a little bit darker. You know, as you start getting the tone of brown that you like. So now we're going to start pulling the red into it, and then you'll start seeing it change over to a brown.
And I've been painting for most of my life, and I never knew about this sort of mixing method, and I'm excited. I think that I wished I had known about it.
So just keep pulling the red in there, and it's gonna start kicking. Your color is gonna start changing to a brown, and there it goes. It's turning like a tan. We got a nice tan. I don't know. I mean that's kind of a weathered look, brown.
Should we add a little?
I'm gonna add a little
blue to it, maybe.
Yeah, we could add a little blue to it. Blue's gonna kind of kick those gray tones up a little bit. So let's see what that does. We'll add just a hair of blue, and well, maybe we will. Got a clogged thing there. Add a little bit of blue. add some more red. It's turning to green.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of green though.
Yeah.
Add some more red to it.
So this is just kind of one of these deals. And guys, the other thing is you know, we're just trying to. This can be customized however you want to.
Yeah,
so
I mean, this is your
project. This is your project.
Right. Do it. You know, we're just giving you a guide to go by, and just something fun to do.
That's going to be real pretty.
So if y'all have one of these chip brushes, and for doing wood grain, the rougher the bristle or the stiffer the bristle, this would be another good one to use. A good old brush that's been in your toolbox for a long time, that's got some good stiff bristles to it. If it's dirty, all the better, because you want all the character in the world to stand out. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this palette over here, because we're going to have two plates going on with this this particular color. And the reason I added the white is because when we get going, you can take your brown, and if you need to lighten it up, you just add a little bit of white to it. And see, now you got
cool.
You got some lighter values going. Because we will need some lighter values going as we start doing the highlights and whatnot. So I'm not even going to bother with rinsing this brush off that I used for the black, because I'm going to just go right into the brown, and I'm going to start pulling it across. And the harder you push, and you can give it a little squiggle here and there, and see how that's going to make some nice wood effects. So kind of, you want to press fairly hard on the canvas. As you can see, it's starting to look like a little bit of wood there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, you can start adding a little bit of highlights. And I'm going to grab this other brush here that's rough and dip it into this white that we got going on here. And maybe up here on the top, I'm going to just pull in a little bit of highlights here and there, just to kind of give it some character.
Cool.
And if you hold your brush nice and light and just skid it across, it's going to give the effect of maybe there was a little bit of paint left on there, you know, from years past, and it's going to kind of let that wood grain shine through. So there's one slat possibly, and we'll just continue carrying this on down for the whole canvas. I'm going to add just a little bit more brown, maybe make this one a little bit different value. And we'll just carry it, maybe give it a little squiggle here and there, just to kind of give the wood a little bit of a wood grain look, or a plank look.
That is super cool.
So keep carrying it on down here. I'm gonna put a little bit more paint on this one here, maybe.
This is I think our painting is going to be way better, way prettier than the than our sample.
I don't know about that. It's just going to be different, I guess.
It's just different. Also, guys, I just want to mention that this is a live recording, but it'll be available for replay. So if you don't have your paints ready and you're kind of not really ready to do the project at this shiny moment,
yeah, you can go back and review, or you know, give us a call or message us. Possibly, I don't know if we could send them a copy if they lose it or whatever. But
yeah, it'll be available on the event, and I think you can even on Facebook. You can even go back to past events. Like if you've signed up for an event and you want to, and it's already gone past, you can just select past events and come right back to this event and then pull up the video. And we're also going to be, this event will be on the Chromopho Specialty Painting Facebook page, which is Johnny's.
Yeah, we're launching off a new business. We're specializing in interior painting, faux finishes. You know, if y'all have furniture you want to get refinished, we're going to do that. Kitchen cabinets, bathtub, those fiberglass bathtub surrounds that you guys, you know, for years have been neglected. I mean, for literally a few $100s instead of spending thousands on getting it replaced, you can come in and put a fresh coat of paint on it and you're good for a long time. So another thing that you can do, I can show you real quick on one of these, is if you kind of maybe twist and turn your brush a little bit as you're going like that, maybe, then you can kind of get some funky looking effects that, you know, heck, maybe there was a knot right there.
Johnny, that looks really pretty.
You know, if you want to put a knot in one of these, you just grab one of your brushes here, and we're just going to mix up a little black here and a little bit of this other color, and then we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll put a knot right here, and then what we can do is maybe come back with this other brush and we'll make it look like the graining is kind of going around it. Well, I don't know if it's going to turn out the way I'm wanting it to, but anyway, you have to play around with it. So I'm going to add some more of this white, this lighter brown that we got going on over here, and just give it some highlights, just catch some of the grain going across.
That's pretty.
So it'll start coming to life for you. You don't put a lot of pressure with the white because it's going to be real strong, and just go right over the wet paint. If it's dry, it's okay. If it's wet, it's okay. You're just going to get different effects as you're doing this. And if your hands shake you a little bit, heck, that's even better yet. You know, because it just gives it that much more character when you're doing this.
This is so cool. I'm totally going to want to hang this in our house. I've decided.
The boss has spoken. So, anyway, I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I'm going to rinse this brush off. I'm going to come in here while it's still wet. I mean, we should be okay. And I'm just going to pull some lines in here where we got some, just kind of so you can decipher where the slats are going to be. And I'm just going to maybe put one.
Oh, cool. Super. So yeah, guys, you know, acrylic paint dries not real fast.
Yep.
So like this part, you kind of have to do this part pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, if you do mess up, it's no big deal. You can tank and go right back over that with your wood graining, and you got another character to your wood. And then you just go back and try to pull that line again, possibly, you know, if you have to. There's no mistakes.
That's right. That looks so good.
So I think I'm gonna put one right here, maybe.
So Johnny is wearing his Bob Ross shirt in homage of Bob Ross.
Yes. The legend.
The legend.
Bob Ross, the legend.
So I guess we're kind of painting our happy boards.
Yes, that's right. So
our happy slats.
Happy slats. Okay, I think I'm pretty well got that the way I like it, I guess.
That looks good.
So I'm going to go ahead and blow dry this now.
Okay. Sorry, it's going to be loud for a second.
Loud here for a minute.
Patricia says she loves it. She said she didn't realize the mixing for brown too.
Oh, really?
And guys, we are not the experts of Facebook Live, so
No.
we're we're kind of trying to figure this all out.
One thing to remember too is acrylics always dry a little bit darker than what you put on. So when they're wet, you know, they look lighter, but as they dry, they're going to get a little bit darker. Not much, but just a little bit. So you might want to keep that in mind when you're mixing your values, especially if you're trying to do a color match or something along those lines. Try to mix it a little bit lighter on the palette, so it's going to dry a little bit darker. Got a big wad of paint down here. Hopefully that's going to dry. I might flip this around because I kind of like that effect on the wood on the bottom. Put it up on the top and put the...
Oh yeah, there you go.
I might just do that.
So we're going to do a flipperoo.
We're going to do something flippy here. I like this panel up here a little bit better.
I mean, this particular, I mean, you could have even done it the other, you know, where the boards were going up and down, but our
Yes.
canvas, the painting, as you can see, is kind of a portrait. Instead of a landscape, it's kind of a portrait. It's narrower than it is tall. So we kind of have to, whatever you do, you want to make sure your canvas is going to fit what you're trying to paint.
So I'm going to go ahead and add in these little nail holes that they've got along the edge. We're going to do ours a little bit different. We're going to do it in a two-step process. And again, we're going to get back into the black here. And if you've ever put a nail in, it always seems like it splits the wood a little bit. So, you know, when you put those on, you might add a little crack, give it a little character as you go. You know, trying to see how our time's looking.
Oh, let's see, what time is
30
it?
minutes into it. We got 30 minutes. I think we're good.
Totally awesome.
So I'm not going to put any on the bottom there because we're going to do something different on that bottom slat. This one's trying to run on me.
So guys, let us know if you can hear us okay, and if the lighting is okay.
Yeah, because I have a tendency to be a mumbler. I'm kind of a mumbler when I talk. So, and Jamie, she's got a radio voice.
I have a big old loud voice.
Carries well. All right, so I want to go ahead and hit that with the blow dryer real quick again. Those nail heads. Give that brush a little rinse. I'm probably just going to go into this dirty, make it like a dirty tan, white, gray. I don't know. We'll try to make it look like a nail color, but a little bit of black, white, mint gray. So I had a little bit of black left on my brush. Yeah, I'm just going to add just a little bit of water, maybe thin it just a little bit.
So adding water makes it thin out just a little.
Yes, if you need to thin your paint, you can just add some water to it. It'll thin it out nicely. And I'm just going to Well, that brush isn't working very good. That's kind of a wrong brush. It's more of a rougher brush for texture. So I'm going to get one of these.
So this is a what? Let me try to get a shot of that.
Like
kind of a
I
more
can't
point.
read it. Number 8.
Kind of a more pointier brush there.
Right.
So we're switching brushes.
Just for these nail heads. These are great for little detail work like this, where you want clean lines, a little bit cleaner lines. And we're just going to go right over the black. And get a little bit more white going. It's not quite dry, so it's kind of mixing as I put it on there. That's all right. Gives it character. I mean, if you potentially wanted to do something like, you could make this brown a little bit darker, add a lot more red to it, and you could get a rust color going, make your nails look rusty. Or if you've got in your paint, you know, kit, a rusty type color, rusty nail would look great with this. You know, you can put as much detail as you wanted to in this. You could add a little spider hanging down. I don't know.
I'm just so impressed with how this is coming out. Y'all, my primary job is I work at Delta Airlines, and I do learning design, but I'm an artistic person by nature, and some of our paintings in the house are mine, but Johnny is a gazillion trillion times more talented than I am.
I don't know about all that.
And today is one of my 25% hourly reduction days. So I am often free to do this little art class with Johnny. This is so much fun.
Yep. So, let's see here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use this same brush I had. And what we're going to do is I'm going to lay out what this milk jug is.
Oh, sorry, Johnny.
Sorry.
So you're going to kind of create the shape for the milk jug?
Yep, we're going to create the shape for the milk jug. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to just outline it with some black. And I'm going to try to keep it simple for everybody. So it's just simple shapes. So don't look at the whole picture. Just try to break it down into some simple shapes. And that makes it a lot easier to try to paint. So it's not like, oh my gosh, you know, you freak out. You think, you know, how am I going to make that look like that? So I'm going to just start. We're going to make a square or a rectangle, I guess. And I'm going to just start. I put a dot there, and then I'm just going to pull this other dot. It's just like, remember the dot to dots that you used to do when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
And so same thing here. I'm going to figure out,
sorry.
okay, where do I want to put
table.
Put it on the canvas. Okay, I'm going to try to make it look halfway center. So I'm just going to put a little dot right there, and then same thing here. And is the dot going to line up with that dot? And then we're just going to pull the paint up to the next dot. I mean, as you can see, my hand's kind of shaky too. It's not perfect. So now we have a line there and a line there. Pretty simple, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to keep this line there, the crack that's in the painting. We're just going to use it as a guide. So, and
awesome.
We're just going to take and carry this. But what I'm going to do instead of a straight line is I'm going to put a dot, because as you can see, this curves. It has a little bit of a curve to it. And what that curve does is it's going to give it a little bit of make it look three-dimensional. So I'm just going to put a dot right there in the center, drop it down so you got a little bit of a slope going. So.
Oh, that is. See, these are things that I like. I mean, I don't think of these things. This is so cool to do the dots. I mean, like it breaks it down so much.
So now you got a curve. As you can see, you got a curve, okay? Mm-hmm. And I think...
that's why we're making it three-dimensional looking, because otherwise it would just look flat.
Right. So, and everybody can make a little half moon curve. So the same thing. you got to kind of decide where the neck's going to go. And we're just going to put a little dot right here where the neck's going to end for the throat of the milk jug. And I'm going to put another little dot right here, about right there. It almost looks like a big smiley face. If you look, you got a dot, dot and a smiley face. And instead of a straight line, again, we're trying to create a little bit of a dimension here. I'm going to just put like a little bit of a half moon, just a curve like that.
Awesome.
And then same thing here. I'm going to do a curve there. Okay.
And you know, something Johnny showed me, we did an art project actually for our wedding. We did a painting, a canvas painting, and Johnny had showed me about using chalk.
Chalk.
To like kind of pre-draw these shapes out, or
Absolutely.
like, you know, to kind of get your position where you want to put it on the canvas and the size and all that, because you can just paint right over the chalk
Paint right over the chalk.
and then wipe it off when it's
goes
done.
away when it's done. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, get you some chalkboard chalk, and you can draw right over the dried canvas, get it the way you look, and then you just paint right over the chalk, and it's amazing. So we're going to make this next line, and it's just going to curve. It's going to follow the other line just like that. Okay. And then this bottom one, same thing. We're going to just connect the two lines on the bottom and follow that curve. Carry it on from the bottom to the top. Same thing. Okay, so that's pretty basic. And then we're going to put just a line and a line. Okay, and then we got to do the throat or the opening.
So do you guys see in the canvas, we're just...
And if you really look at that shape is basically the shape of a football that goes on the top of the throat, or whatever you want to call it. So, so if you can make a football shape that goes like that, that's all you need. Okay, and then we're just going to connect the two, and boom, there you go.
Cool.
All right, so we got that down, basic shape for the milk jug. And I'm going to mix up some gray here real quick. And same thing, you got your white, and you're going to pull some black into the white. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of the brown. I'm just going to keep it like a gray going on here. And some of the paint that might not be wet or still wet on the canvas is going to kind of pull through. And then just kind of keep your contour going with the outline that you just made. Careful not to go out of the lines. You just kind of want to carry that around. And it's a little bit darker on the one side, so I'm going to carry some a little bit darker value on this other side and pull it. Pull it around, pull it around, pull it around.
So for this part, you don't want to have your paint like completely mixed. You know, you kind of, right? You kind of want to have it.
Either or. I mean, it's personal preference. If you want it to be more of a shiny look or finished look, go ahead and mix it up thoroughly. If you want it more of a rugged look, just it's okay if it's streaky.
I like this look we got going. This is really pretty.
So, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep carrying that around to the top of the jug. I'm gonna add a little bit of black right there. All right. Might need to get a smaller one. I'm gonna switch over to a little smaller brush to do this top portion here. I need to add more black to it.
So we did switch to a smaller brush, guys, so you can do more tighter detail.
Just to try to get into some of these tighter detailed areas that you might need to get into. Kind of trying to get this finished before we're out of time. And I'm going to darken that up because the darker value is going to be on the undertone of this this lip of this jar, so it's going to be fairly dark. And the lip itself is going to have a highlight because the light's going to want to catch that lip of the. So I'm just going to load my brush up with some white and just kind of try to illustrate some highlight there. And you can come back with a detailed brush later and do that if you wanted to add some highlights to it. Just really going out of time here.
We got about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If we run a little long, that's fine.
Okay. So this portion of the top of the jug, which we referred to as the football, I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in with some black. Okay. And then I'm going to just hit that back edge with the outline of some white and just carry it right through that black because it's just going to kind of mix as you go because it's still wet. Okay. And I think our light source is going to come in from this side down, so I'm just going to go ahead while I got a minute here, and I'm going to take and add some highlights to it, and just to kind of maybe create some interest. And then, oh man, shoot. It didn't do what I wanted to do. I was trying to pull it. Oh well. Anyway. All right. Now I gotta find the right brush to do cotton balls.
So we got to find a cotton ball brush.
I think that one is these.
I feel like you need a super pointy brush to do the little branches or whatever.
Yes, and a long pointy brush, like something like that, will be good for doing the stems.
Here, hold it. Oops, okay.
You get it?
Yep, about like that for the stems.
For the stems.
And then for the cotton balls.
I'm going to use something like this for the cotton balls.
Perfect.
But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I am going to rinse this brush out, and I'm going to kind of leave it wet. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shadow down here at the bottom of this bottom plank, and I'm going to pull some black in here, and I'm going to add some water and just thin it out pretty good. And that might be too much. I'm going to switch brushes, and I just kind of want to create an image of it like throwing a cast shadow down on that tabletop. Maybe making this look more like a tabletop.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. So it looks like it's sitting on a table.
Anyways, you're doing this, if there's things you want to add, just use your imagination. You know, you're not limited to just doing what we're doing here. This is just a guide. I'm going to start adding some of these cotton balls. I'm going to need to switch. Well, I guess I got enough white. And these are pretty easy. Load up a pretty good amount of paint on your brush, and you're just going to kind of press in and just however you feel like it. You know, just start adding these little balls. And if they're not perfect circles, if you've ever seen cotton, it kind of is fluffy. And they'll overlap or whatever, and just smush them in here and there and everywhere. And if the paint's wet behind it, it's just going to give a little bit of a shadow character.
So is everyone having a good Friday? having a pretty lazy Friday today because I'm off and we're doing this awesome, fun art painting class.
Yeah, trying to get ready for this class. And I'm going to add some more in here.
So,
I might need some more white.
Cotton balls are looking like cotton balls to me.
I've heard of people that have worked in cotton fields picking cotton and stuff. And then I can imagine that would be quite a job back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do it all with automated equipment nowadays.
Yeah, and you know, like a lot of people are really into the rustic look, kind of like we are definitely into like rustic decor and stuff.
Right.
And you see people like with like cotton ball florals.
Yep. In fact, we even have one, a door wreath that has cotton balls.
Yes, our front door wreath is a cotton ball door wreath. So this rustic look is definitely going strong.
Absolutely. I'm going to just put one here, maybe, for fun.
That looks so good. Yeah, don't hide your awesome wood grain you made there.
I'm proud of that one.
I know, I'm proud of your pretty wood grain too.
That's funny. All right, I'm gonna stop with that right now, and then I'm gonna start putting stems in. But I hope y'all get the idea of you know, just simple circle motions with a nice. I think these are hog's hair brushes. The rougher bristles, they make a great effect. I'm gonna hit that with a blow dryer real quick. So we're gonna have some noise here.
All right.
Intermission time.
Intermission. Super cool.
Back to the brown here. I think I'm going to change this color brown a little bit. Probably going to add some more black into it. Just darken it up a little bit. Add some more red. Just to darken it up a little bit. That looks pretty good there. I think so. Might need to be a little bit darker. I know cotton stems are pretty dark.
So guys, also let us know. You can comment or, you know, post after this video is posted. It'll be there. and you can go in and make comments and stuff if you watch this on replay. But definitely let us know how you like this project, and also like if this is a good time. I know, during normal work week, a Friday midday might not be the best day to do these classes.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll probably switch these over to evening classes. It's just right now it seems like everybody's home. They're looking for something to do, so on and so forth. And that's kind of why we geared them during the day.
Yep.
So anyway.
So definitely feel free to comment and let us know. This is our second one ever. So we're just...
And also next week, I can't remember what day, Jamie.
Oh yeah, so
we're doing
Tuesday we have, and we have a child's painting project on Tuesday.
Y'all are more than welcome to join it if you want something to do.
Yeah, so the child's painting project for Tuesday is going to be a cupcake, and it's really cute. And then we did another child's project earlier this week that was kind of like a masking tape name kind of thing, sort of gender neutral kind of a project.
So if you got kids or grandkids or whatever, and you're looking for something for them to do, and don't forget it, Tuesday, tune in, take up an hour of your time, so you might learn a few tips and tricks, and we might learn something too. So
yeah, we actually had one mom send us a picture of her kid's project after the last session, and it was really sweet. It just made our day.
yep,
That we that we might have helped entertain a family for an hour, or give one mom less of a headache for an hour.
So I'm kind of mixing up multiple colors as I go with this. It's kind of a black, and I got a good brown going, but as I pull the brush through, I kind of want to have it kind of give an effect that there's a stem there, and that one didn't turn out too hot. So what I'm going to do is I added a little black, and I'll just go ahead and give it a little undertone. And it kind of, if you mix the paint up on your brush as you go, it'll streak through. So if you can hit it just right, it'll do the shading for you. So you let your brush do the work for you. Saves you a lot of time going back and trying to do highlights and this and that and the other.
So we're basically, you don't have everything all mixed up, neat and tidy. It's just
Right.
kind of
Right.
irregular.
It took me a long time to learn how to do this, because I'll tell you, when I started painting, I did everything with a little two-haired brush, and it was like I'd sit there like a pencil, and it would take months to do a painting. And then I over time I learned that, hey, you can use these brushes. Different brushes will give you different effects, and just the way you load the paint up on it, it could save you a tremendous amount of time. And a lot of times with paint, it may look like something up close, but then as you step back, it looks amazing, or a change in light will have an effect too. So, you get these things done, take them in different light, and turn the lights down, turn them up, put a spotlight on it, and it really, really, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun to do. Add a couple little stray measures. I don't know what time it is.
Let's see, it's 1:55. So we got time to do a few little finishing touches.
One thing I didn't do on it, and I probably won't have time to do it, but the picture had a handle, and that's something you could go back and add. I guess I could start on it and see if I can get done, but I just forgot about the handle. And it looks like there's one swoop that goes right there, and then Well, I guess that's all right. Ours is going to be different than the other one. I'm going to make it look like it's we ain't got much time, I guess.
Cool.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm glad you could join us. I hope you enjoyed it. And
All right, so I'm gonna just sort of flip back over here. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And, you know, this is just a fun little thing to do on a Friday afternoon. We could work on this painting for a little longer and add a lot more detail if we wanted to. But it's super beautiful, and I don't know, I'm super excited to hang this up somewhere. And I think I think anybody would love this. So just remember to like our page, our Facebook page, Chromapho Specialty Painting.
right.
And follow our projects on there,
Right.
Where we're going to be posting some more classes, some children's painting classes, and some adult painting classes. And you know, Johnny just has an amazing talent for doing any kind of specialty painting, any like faux finishes.
Faux finishes. I love doing faux finishes.
Oh my gosh, he did a beautiful faux finish wood grain, basically similar to this, the background of this painting, a faux finish wood grain wall in our guest bathroom. So you see a lot of people will do like kind of accent walls in their bathrooms and things, or and I mean you can do that with paint.
Right.
It's crazy.
I did see it, and we do have a post on our page. Those crazy bifold doors that everybody thinks is so ugly, not knowing what to do with them. And I know the big trend is, you know, barn wood. So that's one of the projects that we have in line is doing some more of those bifold doors to look like barn doors with paint, of course.
Yep. So be sure to like our page, and again, it's Chromapho, and that's FAUX, right?
Yep.
Chromapho Specialty Painting,
Yep.
and reach out to us if you have any questions or you want any specialty painting projects done. All right, guys.
See y'all later.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching.